Mr. Kelly. Mr. Bacon, you're now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. I want to thank each of you for sharing what happened in your life, and I just want to make it clear, actions described are disgraceful and unacceptable. I say that as a 5-time commander, served nearly 30 years in the Air Force, but also as a husband, father of a daughter, granddaughter of 3 little girls. I surely want better, and so we owed you better. My thought as an institution with the service, but also with the academies, and at any unit, we got to do 3 things as in leadership. 1, make the policies clear, what the standards are, and how to respond when an incident does occur. 2, I think we owe a way to support victims when these things occur, so we have to have a very clear support network there and a process. And thirdly, we got to hold people accountable. And so I had to look at all 3 of those things as commander. So I have a question for you. As a commander, we have a little bit of leeway. How do we prosecute when these things occur? And some folks want a bar set a little higher, some accept a little lower. When I had this situation in my commands, and I felt like we needed to take more quick action, I decided to court-martial folks who the evidence was not as clear. Sometimes it was one person's word against another person's word, but I wanted the victim to have the opportunity to speak in front of a jury, make their case, and also the person who's accused. And our convictions went way up when this happened. But I'd love to have your feedback. Would you have felt comfortable to go to a court-martial, or is this a process that would have worked for you if you had a commander that was a little more aggressive and says, let's put this person in front of a jury? I'll start with Ms. Kensier.
I guess I don't understand your question fully. Can you please?
I think commanders have some leeway who to court-martial. Sometimes they want very clear evidence of guilt. Other times it's a little less clear. I took the tack as a commander that I would court-martial people more quickly and let the juries decide. What do you think of that principle? Should we be more aggressive in court-martialing and let the juries decide?
Well, I personally believe it should be taken out of the hands of the military to do this in general. Rape is not, and sexual harassment is not exclusive to the military, so why should the military be handling this when it's an epidemic throughout our country in all colleges? So in my opinion, I don't think it should have to go to a court-martial. I think it should have to go to civilian court to handle these cases appropriately.
Okay. I'll just say, though, for the record, in our case, we had a high conviction rate through the court-martial. We put people in Leavenworth. So there's accountability does occur. You just need commanders that lean forward and be aggressive at it. Ms. Gross, do you have a thought on this?
I do, sir. It's actually kind of an opposite thought, but I think that right now there's actually too much leeway within the institutions. The Academy, at least West Point, has many different sanctions that they can impose. As you saw with my case, they gave an administrative sanction instead of regular court action sanction. They have different misconduct hearings, Article 32s. They can do just regular judicial punishment at the Academy in form of walking hours. And for that reason, they're able to lower their numbers of assaults. And so it's very interesting. If you look at the year that I left, 2014 to 15, there was only 1 case of substantiated sexual assault and no substantiated cases of sexual harassment. All they were substantiated on was harassment. My case was classified as sexual assault. I was only substantiated on assault. And so maybe that leeway is actually a little too much.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Bullard?
This is a hard question. I say that because I think I would agree with Ms. Kensor. I think it needs to go outside the military. And the reason why is I think in me and Mrs. Gross's case, at any point, the head of the commander could have done something. So that's all I have to say.
One comment too, Ms. Bullard. I found in my experience, you are absolutely right. 90% of allegations are true. That's been my experience as a 5-time commander. And I found it out when you start court-martialing people are pleading guilty. And so I just wanted to substantiate, back up your point.
Thank you, sir.
Finally, I'd just like to make one point for Ms. Kensier and love to have your feedback. The fact that they were calling you a dub, quote, and in plural dubs to the ladies is a sign of a bad cultural problem. Did you see any efforts from the higher level command or anywhere in the middle to try to correct that?
No.
Okay. Thank you very much. I yield back.